checking in here, and we've caught up with one of the instructors teaching animation courses here at OCAD, one of the top premier universities for arts and design here in Canada. So if you can give our audience a very brief introduction about yourself and also the course that we're teaching today.
Sure. Hi everybody. My name is Isaac King and I'm teaching Introduction to Experimental Animation. I've been teaching this course not for very long, but the new major is very exciting, experimental animation. And this is one of the introductory courses to get us into the fundamentals of how we animate.
Yeah, so this is one of the few courses here that really connects with the industry moving forward. So can you tell us a little bit about how the course is designed and how the course will be used for students to get the best way to enter into the industry later on upon graduation?
Yes. So my practice involves freelance animation. I've been working in the animation industry for about 20 years, both independently, making my own films, and in the commercial sphere. So what I'm really trying to impress upon these students is the importance of thinking frame by frame, how animation is really everywhere now. It's the ubiquitous medium, and how we learn that frame by frame thinking through traditional techniques and obviously through technology as well.
Yeah, awesome. That is some great insight for our audiences. And then moving on, so we are connecting your traditional art mediums with software and technologies. Can you talk a little bit about how that has affected the animation landscape here in Canada?
Sure. Well, I would say what OCAD's doing is pretty unique, first of all, because it's not just a trade school teaching students animation. We really frame this program and the major, I think, with the artistic history and theory of animation is at the core of what we're doing here. So we're not just churning people out for the industry, we're making people get those fundamental connections between expression, technology, animation, and how you can use your own voice to either make independent productions or work within a team setting in an industry. So really, I'm hoping to present these students with a broad foundation from which they can move in any direction they want.
Okay, that is really, really awesome. For our next question, we want to talk about, Toronto here as a city, it's very, very dynamic. You have everybody coming from all over the world. For those students not from Toronto, other parts of Canada, other parts of the world, it's going to be a little bit more lighthearted question, but how does OCAD hope to help these students get more involved and also their learning experiences here in Toronto?
When they're here physically, you mean?
When they're here physically, especially after 2 years of lockdown with things, taking online Zoom classes where students coming in can feel a little bit uncomfortable being in a physical classroom.
That's a good question. I think we've learned so much from the pandemic, and education has changed so much. Some of it has been very frustrating, and some of it has been helpful. We've learned how we can do things online in new ways. Critiques online have actually worked out pretty well. But nothing will really compare with being in a room with people, exchanging ideas, learning hands-on techniques. I'm still very committed to in-person learning, so this is a blended course, means we have synchronous classes. We have 8 in-person classes and 4 online, and it's been working out great so far.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that is again really, really awesome to be back in class, providing especially student-to-student interactions, providing feedback on each other, very positive, constructive criticisms coming in. And I guess finally, just to end off, being an animation artist yourself, it's important to have our works out there. For our audiences here, we'll have shown on display here some places where they can find your works online.
Sure. Yeah. Well, my name is Isaac King. My website's isaacking.net, and there you'll find all my films and commercials and PSAs and everything I'm working on at the moment.
Yeah, and thank you so much for your time for this very brief interview. And we are checking out here from OCAD in Toronto. the animation studio on the 5th floor of OCAD under illustration department. Here we have a student who is currently hard at work, but very thankful that she can give us a brief moment of her time for this brief interview. So if you can give us a very brief introduction of your main grade and faculty here.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Arissa. I'm a first year at OCAD and my program is in illustration. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Coming here first year, some of our audiences, they're very keen to know what the lifestyle experience is here and what it is to like to experience school here at OCAD. So if you can describe that for our audience.
Yeah, sure. So actually in the beginning, it was a bit stale because like everything was online. But as soon as everything like turned in person, I feel like I made a lot of friends here. Despite not living at Res, being located in downtown Toronto, there's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of places to look at here, and overall, I think it's been a pretty good year for me. There's a lot of like studio classes. If you're looking into the illustration program, then like you have to be in person a lot. A lot of models come in. There's also like a lot of conceptual illustration classes that I think really navigate more creatively compared to the observation classes. And yeah.
Yeah, that is really awesome to hear, and especially being a modern day illustrator, we really have to combine conceptual, technical, and technologies into our craft. Right, and I see you're working on a Photoshop here.
Yeah.
So what is your future plan with the skill set that you're acquiring here at OCAD, especially when it comes to career development?
So originally, I wanted to do illustration and kind of dive into like, there's a lot of like career options for illustrating students, such as like, I don't know, game design or animation as well.
3D modeling.
Yeah, 3D modeling, or like even being a storyboard artist as well. I'm kind of delving more into like the animation aspect of illustration, and I'm hoping to like, how do you say this? Transition into like the animation program, which is like a new program in OCAD. So yeah.
Yeah, that is really awesome to hear. I'm sure you'll have an awesome time in your studies. And OCAD being one of the top premier art schools and design schools here in Canada, it is quite competitive to enter, especially going through the admission phases. And here, being a current student at OCAD, what advices would you give to our audience back in Vancouver on how to prepare their portfolios and really getting themselves ready to entry here at OCAD?
Personally, what I did was that I looked at other portfolios that were like posted on YouTube, and I'm sure they already know like the process of like how to apply to OCAD. Like they make you do like a slide room account, I think. Yeah, and then you put a bunch of your work in. I say for my program specifically, since it's illustration, I think that they look for skill and also creativity. Try doing things that are like different to make you stand out more. And also, even though it's illustration, I advise you to like also input other different medias in it as well, so that you can show them that you're skillful in other ways other than drawing.
Yeah, so make sure to be well equipped with a different skill set. Again, we make sure to stay dedicated to the craft, but also show a wide range of potential abilities. And okay, thank you so much for the interview today, and wish the best in your studies moving forward. Oh right, and before that, we forgot, as a fine artist, it's important to get our works out there. Would you like to show our audiences where to find some of your works on social media? We'll have them listed right over here.
Yeah, sure. Do I have to say it, or?
Yeah, you can tell it to our audience, and then we'll have it posted right below here.
My username is kind of like weird, but I think it's better if you just write it down.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Then we'll have it displayed over here.
Yeah, sure.
Right, and thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
The an internship, and then they just match you with a company, or you can just tell them I want to be with this company, and they'll do their hardest to match you with them. So they're really nice with that, and then they're also really nice with allowing you to find a job afterwards.
Yeah, so the entire process of the education leading up to entering the workforce is quite streamlined here at OCAD, and that is due to a strong resource-based teaching here. Yeah, and speaking of that, using university as a springboard, especially coming into first years, what was some of your experiences with the lifestyle and also your experiences attending school here in OCAD?
So OCAD is a really nice place. Like the campus is really friendly. People are really friendly. I'm not even Canadian. In fact, I'm an international student. So coming to live here in Toronto was actually quite comfortable because of how friendly, how nice people are. Here, the campus is quite welcoming, so that it helped me a lot with that, and just the professors as well, and taking classes in person. They're very like classes, depending on if you're taking a lecture class, like for example history, or if you're taking more of a studio class like 3D modeling or something like that. Depends on the size, but if you're taking a studio class, it's like 20 people, and the teachers are really nice, and they'll help you with anything you want, and like any query or anything that you want.
Yeah, sounds like an awesome learning experience here at OCAD. And speaking of learning here, OCAD is quite a competitive school in terms of the portfolio prep, especially when you're getting ready in grade 11 or grade 12 here locally in Canada. Most of our audiences are in Vancouver. Could you give some portfolio advices on what to look out for, and also maybe provide a competitive edge for some of our students looking to enter OCAD?
Yeah, for sure. You have to show growth as well. I think that OCAD, and I would think a lot of other places are looking for as well, is they want to see your growth as an artist. So regardless of you being more comfortable in 3D animation, 2D animation, or just illustration, or etc., they want to see how you progressed over your like they don't want to see that you're just perfect already, because otherwise there's no room for improvement, right? So besides that, they also want to see dexterity, so being able to work in a variety of what's called art styles, right? So 3D can be various art styles of 3D, but you can also have 2D and 3D, and photography or cinematography, etc. And that will make you give you an edge in building a portfolio that they will really like.
That is some awesome tips and advices coming from Mercutio here. And as being an artist, it's important to get our works out there. We do have a wide range of audiences here, so if you can give a shout out to our audiences, maybe on your Instagram or your art station, and we'll have it listed right here by the end of the video. And if you can just give a shout out.
Yeah, so my Instagram is MSA Renders, and as for that, I also have a website that goes by the same name. You will probably be seeing the links around here once this goes out, but yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for providing a little bit of your time for this interview, and hope the best of luck in your studies coming up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And at this wing, we have the industrial design. As you can see, heading down this hallway, we have our different classrooms here, each filled with their special equipment, especially building up to student projects here. And we are here nearing the start of the summer semester, so we're not going to have too many students, and especially being late into the Friday afternoon, a lot of the students are out and about in a crazy town here like Toronto. But if we're lucky, we might catch a glimpse of hard-working students, and these are the students that potentially will achieve the highest grades. So come with me and we'll explore the campus a little bit.